Hey, welcome back to SourceFed. I'm Ross Everett.
Hi.
So not wrong show.
Different hand movement?
No, it's the same hand movement. It's just different audiences.
Okay, go for it. Hadouken!
Oh, fuck you!
Again, Ross.
Dare for Lee to act like Steve for the whole episode.
I'm getting sick.
Hey,
I got nauseous.
I thought that was a Steve impression. I was like, that's solid.
Yeah, that's actually really good. Real
Actually, I get sick a lot.
Ooh, I'm gonna go a little
Guys,
home a little early.
feel my head, feel my head. Is it like burning up or
you're
what?
okay,
Am I
Steve. You're
dying?
fine.
No, are you sure? Because I feel like I'm dying. I think I'm getting that thing that Trisha had 4 weeks ago.
Wait a minute.
do you just not want to do the work?
No,
Hold on a second.
No,
This is
no.
Steve from like a year ago,
No,
guys.
You were sick all the
Be
time.
honest, I was sick a lot.
Really, I think I'm getting the thing that Meg had 9 weeks ago, and I think that I have to
Pregnancy?
go home and watch.
Rumors.
There was one thing, I probably shouldn't say this, but now that I'm dead, I can. If you watch Game of Thrones, do look, because there's only one type of candle in all of the 7 kingdoms. There's just one guy that makes candles.
No way.
If you look, no matter if you're on Dothrakis or there's the same candles everywhere.
That's nuts.
A little fact for
So
you.
that guy's like the Bill Gates of
He is
candle
the
making. He's gotta like do something mystical with the candles.
Double wick.
Yeah, right. Oh wait, well there you go.
Double wick.
Is it really a double
It's
wick?
a double wick.
Wow.
He's like, I'm
going
gonna
to
try something different. No, I'm not.
No, but I mean, he could put like some kind of spell in his candles, and since all the kingdoms use them, he can get like intel on all the kingdoms using magic or some shit.
You should have talked to George R.R. Martin.
By the way, you have to tell us a little bit about George R.R. Martin. Is he awesome?
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. His brain is wonderful. I mean, look what he's created.
I
It's
know.
really cool. And you know, I kind of just tried to wrestle like things out of him, spoilers and stuff. Don't tell me that.
Of course.
I just
not.
have like this vision of him sitting on the set, and every time one of his characters dies, he just goes.
with the candles.
With the kindness, the double wick.
The candle guys in the back.
What are your favorite underappreciated holidays? Mine is Groundhog Day, possibly because it is my birthday. Well, that's not fair.
Groundhog Day doesn't move. It's not one of those like
I don't
second
think
Thursday
so.
of every month.
I think it's always the same day. They check to see if the groundhog will see his shadow.
Easter. I really like Easter.
Yeah?
What part of it though? Why? Because you're not searching for eggs. I know you're not doing that. Do you enjoy service?
Don't assume I'm not searching for
Do
eggs.
you search for eggs at service?
I enjoy the church service. I enjoy I'll go to a church, and I will very rarely, when I do go to church, will very rare. Okay. Before we begin, I want to say a quick tribute, a quick moment of silence for Mr. Zaragoza's beard, as well as your long locks, as well as the destruction of a very well-constructed brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes you have to kind of like.
silence.
Okay, I get it. Actually, you know what?
No,
Okay, you don't understand.
What? I don't understand how he doesn't understand what a moment of silence is. It's a moment of silence.
It's incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. All right.
And he's running, so that's something.
Here we go. Wonderful. And
Oh, is that your beard here?
what are you doing?
Oh, no, it's...
Please don't. Please don't.
No,
Please
you
don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
No, I don't...
Steve.
No, Steve. No, Steve. Steve.
So the first
no.
story that we're gonna
Steve,
get into today is
no.
the Grammys
Steve.
meltdown.
No,
and
I might vomit.
Oh, okay. Oh man. And we asked you.
I'm not kidding.
We asked you.
I don't know why this
God.
is grossing me out so bad. I can't really look at it. I'm not kidding. I can't look at it. I
That
just
looks
keep
like
thinking
steel
of it in my
wool.
mouth.
It looks like steel wool that you do dishes with after a big Thanksgiving dinner.
Hey guys, I'm Steve Zaragoza.
Oh, you're so gross looking.
No, I'm not kidding. Steve, please take it up.
Gross.
Oh, gross, Steve! Take it off! This is why he's not allowed on the couch.
Man, I actually kind of like the idea of going to church services and just hiding eggs randomly everywhere.
Just in the
Like,
pew in front
yeah,
when it comes
like
time for
in books.
communion, you're like,
Yeah.
is it supposed to be an egg?
Somebody
wanna
opens
hide
up their
one.
hymn book and I've carved out an egg shape.
Perfect.
Those creepy gun books.
I want one hiding
is
in like
this?
the bad wig of like someone. Oh, there's an egg in there. Esther had the wig.
What's your holiday that you like?
Christmas just doesn't get enough attention.
I don't know.
No, it really doesn't. Not commercially or like in the community.
So, and we used to play it like, and the whole point is to do it where you're not supposed to yell penis. So we were in class. I love it. And we started it during like group activities, and everybody was like kind of being loud, so we were able to get to like a pretty decent volume because it was just like kind of going on, like like a.
But this is a great team building game. This is everyone working together,
No.
and it's a collective thing. Like the teacher should have just embraced it.
Man, could you imagine,
Embrace the
could you
penis?
imagine the one teacher that was just like, penis!
And ended it forever.
Just yelled and then got fired immediately.
We never played the game again.
Oh,
Because she
God.
won.
That'd be the greatest story ever.
You
would
can't-
love
That'd be the
that teacher
best.
the rest
Oh
of the
yeah, you would work
No more
hard in your
tangents.
class.
Ross's story.
Okay, so we're playing the game. It's getting pretty loud. You know, like you're coughing, you're doing stuff. It's working. So he gets one real good one in right before. They're like, okay, like settle down. Like we're gonna break up into the group. So I'm like, shit. So he's got this smug look on his face, like he fucking knows. Like he just fucking won. I'm like, shit. So I always lean back in my chair in class. I'm like this guy, and then I've fallen over a few times, like just like I just did right there. But so I put my feet up on my desk, and I look him right in the eye, and I kick the desk over, and right as it hits the ground, I yell, penis! But it masks it because
so
everybody, so everybody.
Wait, so you thought of creative ways to hide it?
Well, yeah, that was the whole point.
really
Is you gotta
good.
get away with it. So it goes slam, and I yell penis right as it hits the ground. I go, oh my god! And like the teacher's like, are you okay? Like everyone, and the look on my friend's face was just one of like he couldn't believe what just happened.
Yeah, 'cause he's got
I,
a one-up.
I bested him. I mean, he couldn't. The game was over after that. I won. But then after class, like we were telling people what happened, and people in the classroom next to us were like, "Oh my god!" Like we could have sworn we heard someone yell the word penis.
The worst place I ever peed, the story that comes immediately to mind is that
This question.
Well, I know. Is when I was young, I did this thing called crewing, and crewing is when you would go door to door for like local newspapers and get news subscriptions, and they'd get like child slave labor to do it.
Yeah.
And I was one of them, and they'd pay you nothing, blah 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 blah. So, anyways, we were in Whitefish, Montana, and it was late at night. It was like 6, 7. It was already dark out because it was winter, and we were in an apartment complex with outside stairs. And when I say we're, it was me and my brother, and it was the last stop before we got in the car and went home, and I really had to go to the bathroom, and I knew we weren't going to stop. So I'm at the top, and he goes down before me, and I go, I have to go. And then my next thought was, my brother is right beneath me. Don't go. No. And then my next thought was, my brother is right beneath me. It's time to go. So he gets a head start, and then I'm like, it was one of those things where I wasn't trying to hit him, but if I happened to, it would have been an accident. It wasn't trying. I start going, and then immediately, oh God!
That was his reaction.
Oh God! So that's the funny part. The sad part is that he was my younger brother. He looked up to me. He was probably. I was 12. He was 10. I peed on him. I know that I peed on him when I get down. He's like, "You peed on me." It was an accident. I didn't mean to. And then I had to sit in the Jeep with him driving home for a half an hour with the heat on.
Wait, this is your brother?
You smell like
all
pee?
met, yeah?
Yeah.
He couldn't wash the pee out or anything?
Nope.
You know what? I'm so glad I didn't know that you peed on him before I met him.
Before you made out with him?
I didn't make out with him.
Rumors.
We danced. A lot. We didn't make out. We danced.
They danced with their mouths.
You danced.
What is the worst/most awkward first impression you have made when meeting someone?
It was the first time anybody ever recognized me in public, and it was close.
So close.
It was in an elevator, and it was at a museum, and he recognized me, and he leaned over to me in a crowded elevator, and he said, "Love you on SourceFed." And I turned around, and I said, "Me?" And I didn't understand proper etiquette of how to talk to people, let alone somebody who recognized me. So I said, "Thank you." And then we rode the elevator down together, and we parted ways, and we walked side by side for about 10 minutes to our cars with neither of us saying anything. Cass Malu said Justin Timberlake. I've loved that man since I was 8 years old. I'm 22 now, so I don't think that'll be changing anytime soon. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't get much grosser. I don't think it gets any grosser.
You found a woman who would marry you?
He's married! This
Stop
guy's
blowing it.
married!
Have you ever been so impressed or unsatisfied by a form of customer service that you contacted the company? I'm too lazy and don't care enough, and I always to complain and like call up. And I always feel like there's probably a good explanation for them, and they have to deal with a lot of crap. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I usually don't pick up the phone, so I'm gonna talk about good things that specifically happened to other people while we were in Canada. Thing one, Steve was buying those like blind Lego collectible toys that you have to open up to see what you get. And he's like buying them from this Canada toy store, and they said, "Which one do you want?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know, I haven't got this one." They're like, "Oh, we'll open them for you so we can find the one that you want before you buy it."
That's solid.
And he's like, "Okay, thank you." And then they opened a couple and they didn't find the one that he wanted, and they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry, but if again, we are really sorry, but if you can wait another 5 minutes, we've got a box in the back, and if it's okay with you, we'd like to go open it up and go find the right one for you."
That's
so I did
crazy.
that.
That's crazy.
That's
so
thing
nice.
one. Thing number two, Audrey's out doing a run for us before the show to pick up some towels to wipe off the sweats during the show.
Nice.
And it's like close to closing time. It's like 5 o'clock. She runs to a store and they just lock the door. And she's like, "Oh no, I'm American, so I'm gonna still try and get in."
She's holding a gun in her hand,
Yeah,
but it was
let me
still-
in, I gotta buy this thing. And they let her in, and she's like, "I need these towels." And they're like, "Sorry, the registers are closed, there's nothing we can do." And she's like, "Damn." And then they're like, "But we have a sister store down the road. How about you jump in my car, we'll drive you down there,
That's
and we'll pick one up."
crazy.
They jump in the car, they drive down to the sister store, and they're there. And she can buy them, but she only has American money, and they don't take American money. And she doesn't have Canadian
So
money
they
on
hop
her.
in a
So
car.
they go, "There's a bank across the street. Let me take you to the bank.
That's so
We'll
nice.
exchange it, come back and get the towels."
Canada.
Yeah, that's very unique.
Canada.
What was the weirdest part of your childhood?
I was raised by 2 therapists. So, I mean, like, all of it was all about, like, articulating how you feel.
When
and
you tell me
communicating.
this, I feel.
I feel this way. I've always been very articulate. I think it's probably because of that. So one time I was trying to get, like, my mom upset.
Tell Zeb, don't tell me. I don't care.
When you say that, I feel like you're not listening to me. I was trying to get on like my mom's nerves, like she was like pissing me off or whatever, and I was like, "Mom, you're a bitch."
Whoa, how old were you?
Ah, boy.
You just called your mom the B
12.
word?
I did because I wanted to get her because like nothing
How old
fazed
were you?
her.
How old were you?
I'm gonna say middle school. I'm gonna say maybe 12.
Okay.
12 feels right.
That's probably an appropriate age to call your mom a bitch.
A
for the
bitch,
first
right?
time.
Well,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
because part of
You're
being
18,
therapist,
19.
and my mom was a therapist for like troubled kids, so like
She was
I was
used to it.
a dreamboat. Not only was she used to it, but like just whatever I would do was like nowhere near what she was used to encountering, like with her clients. So I called my mom a bitch. I'm like, "You're a bitch." She goes, "Oh, I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm a bitch. Oh, I'm a bitch. Look at me, I'm a bitch." And I was
You like got her
furious.
stuck on repeat?
No, it wasn't like she even got upset. It was just like that was her way of like, okay, well, like watch this. I'm gonna throw a punch, and she like judoed me and like just like pulled my arm through and just accepted and owned the word bitch and took away the meaning. So I was, "Yeah, you're a bitch." bitch. Oh, I know. I'm a bitch. You're a bitch. Yeah, I'm a bitch.
Wait, she went school ground?
So she went like,
ground?
yeah, just like because like part of it was like she wanted to, I guess, show me that if someone calls you a name and you just own up to it, then it takes the power away. So she kept just being like, I'm a bitch.
Are you
So-
like leaving out the part of the story where she tackled you and said,
You're the bitch! You're the bitch!
No. Yeah.
But I feel like you're the bitch! Know who's the bitch? So I go into the fridge and I grab an egg. And I slam the egg
What
on
kind of
top
an
of my
egg?
mom's a
You
raw
did
one. I
not.
did. I had no idea what else to do.
I'm surprised.
You called your mom a bitch and then egged her.
You are closer
surprised
to
you're alive
Justin
today.
Bieber.
But
Justin
that
Bieber
got
did
her, and I got grounded.
Whoa.
So I won and lost at the same time.
Can anyone else imagine if you egged your mom?
Yeah.
I would be dead.
My mom would start crying, and I'd just be like,
No,
she said,
I mean,
Yeah,
she
she
didn't let
It
him
hurt her
see
My
feelings.
mama cried.
in the
Yeah.
mirror going, cleaning egg off of her head.
I'm a bitch.
It would ruin her. She'd never
Broke
forget.
down later.
I had a teacher named I won't say her name, but she was an English teacher, and she was bad at English, and she'd correct grammar incorrectly, and then she would show again blatant favoritism. But she was so bad at being a teacher that I would kind of manipulate the system, and I would, for like one of my proudest moments, and I think I've talked about this before, one of my proudest moments was when I did a book report on the comparing and contrasting the Scarlet Letter with the first Harry Potter novel, and I didn't read either book, and I made like an oral presentation. Like it's one thing to turn it in and be like, oh, I kind of got away with it, but I got in front of 30 kids and just went through, and I got a 100 on it, not a 98, a 100 people. And
This
then,
is what we learn in school,
Yeah.
right? How to manipulate people.
exactly. And I would come into class, and she loved Cheetos, and I would go, Mrs. Morgan, I have this bag of Cheetos, and she goes, thank you, honey, thank you. And she would sit in class, and she'd eat the Cheetos while she was teaching the rest. And I would hide my face, and just die laughing.
You didn't say her
the
name,
entire
but everybody that knows her knows who you're talking about.
But she was there so long. I'm sorry. She was there so long. My brother got her and couldn't stand. My wife took her as well. Couldn't stand her because she was so bad. But I thought it was hilarious how bad she was at English. Because how can you? Oh man,
it's your job.
I wouldn't. Yeah,
It sounds like my English teacher.
My mom
couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
He talked German to us.
My
Like,
mom
all through the lessons he talked German. He
Yeah,
never spoke English.
That's great. Yeah, my mom would have meetings with this teacher explaining grammar to this teacher for my brother. 5 years later, I'm in the class. I'm like, this is gold. I never want to leave this class. It was the highlight. She was my favorite teacher.
If you could hook up with anyone from Game of Thrones, who would it be? Character, not actor.
Oh, okay.
So like in the universe, in the Westeros world.
So not Shadow Demon Vagina Chick. For damn sure.
That's her technical character
That's
name.
her character name.
Yeah. Vagina chick.
Stay away from her.
But you get a spirit baby. Which is quite
That's
cool.
true. And then
Nobody
they
wants
you
the
can
baby.
And it happens like really quickly. Do you know what I mean?
Well, but
it's
I'd
not
like
9 months.
That's true. You don't have to go through
That's
all
even
the...
more frightening. Could you imagine? I made a mistake, Dad. Here it is.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about all the like the barfing and the like, oh, I can't get up today, honey. I'm
No.
pregnant. You know, it's like you don't get
It's
to
quick.
bitch about being pregnant when
No,
you're a
you
shadow.
just got like
And then
a
your
demon.
Demon baby kills your greatest enemy.
But you know what I was
Does he
thinking?
evaporate after? Is the demon baby gone after that? Or
I did wonder, but we never.
Does he go off and find a job in like finance?
Yeah, maybe he
nine.
does. He's the candle maker.
He's the fucking candle maker.
Yes. I'd like to think though that you could, because like if you could make that little demon ghost thing go and kill someone, can you also make it like go to the market to bring you food and bread and stuff? Like, maybe because I don't want to kill anybody. I'm kind of a pacifist. I don't want anybody to
You
die.
just had servants to go and do that, didn't you?
That's true. That's a good point. But I mean, what if you were like kind of poor and you had a red witch wife or something? Then you could be like
Practical.
Like
Yeah.
she was just out on the town that
Well-
night and wanted to do something stupid, so she slept with a vagrant.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or fell in love. It happens all the time, Joe.
If I was poor and had a demon baby, I wouldn't send him to go to the market for food. I'd send him to go and like rob the bank.
There
or
you go.
something.
Yeah,
You
something
know
a little
what I
more
mean?
evil. You don't want to scare the old ladies at the market with like a
They don't
demon
need
guy with a basket filling it with cereal and stuff. No problem. Are you gonna get that one?
Do you have any organic bananas?
Where are your avocados?
I think my favorite way to eat them was like 10 years ago. It's
been that long since I've had Oreos.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll go through
I don't go to
phases.
the store and buy, like, I pass the Oreos and I always think,
It's
not
not my-
today, forever.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I never buy them.
Not today, forever. You okay?
I want to go to the grocery store with you. Just hear you talking to all the food. Not today, forever.
Fuck you, tomatoes. Eggs, no go. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hello, overly priced coffee creamer.
You're coming with me, Tapatio Doritos. You can come meet the rest of your family.
You feel alive again.
I separated you long ago, but I'm going to make you be reunited with them.
Hey, Oreos, not today, forever. Sassafras, Joe Bereta in the grocery store.
Not today, forever.
You want this? You can't have it. Oh, God.
Hey, Pulp Orange Juice, nobody likes you.
Go back to where you came from, in an actual orange.
I like Rhett and Link a lot.
Yeah, they're good. They're
Great
good.
guys.
Yeah.
Not only are they great guys, make funny stuff. Did you see their 3-hour thank you video they just did? It's
Do they just mention everyone's
insane.
name?
It's
literally just say thank you
for 3 hours.
That sounds really, I like it a lot.
Now it's gonna be like, who can beat it?
Yeah.
Nope, no one. No
Well,
one
now
wants
they
to
just
do
need
that.
to have reaction videos of like them showing their parents or something, or you show your mom like that video.
That sounds just as funny.
And film yourself.
Yo, we gotta get a punching bag like this. It relieves so much stress. How dare you? You leave Steven alone. We're taking him. You're unique, you know that? You're like a legendary item. Like, you don't come around often. It's a good one. It's good.
Say something mean to him, Steve.
No, fuck you, Harley, you shit.
Oh my God, it's adorable. Can I fuck it?
We've got so little time left in this year. Is there anything
What are
left
you
in
gonna
the year
do?
that you
with
want to
it?
do?
What are you gonna do on your last day? That's a great question.
I
huh?
think I like reflection. I think that's a great one. You kind of look back at where you were. Where was I when 2013 came into existence? I wasn't working here, so my life has dramatically changed in 2013. I got a job that now has health benefits. Like there's some really great things. You know. Like life 2013 was a very good year.
2013 was good.
Oh, actually, at the end of 2012, it was like I won't say dark times were ahead, but like things were like sad. Like I had just broken up with a very serious girlfriend, and it was one of those things where like I was very depressed. And I remember like I was lying in bed. I went home for like a week, and my mom. I just watched Game of Thrones. That's when I first got into Game of Thrones, and I was just lying in bed and watching a lot of TV. And before I was gonna come back down to LA, my mom woke me up and she goes, "Listen, if you're going to be depressed, if this is who you want to be, will you just let me know so I can deal with it?" And then I was like, "Oh, fuck, like Mom, that is."
That's a verbal bitch slap
No,
if I
it was
ever heard.
it was
No, it's
exactly what I needed.
sad.
No, because it was
But
just
that's
like
what I mean,
she's
when
like.
someone's hysterically crying and you get like boom and you snap out of it.
It wasn't that bad.
That's what I feel like.
Actually,
that
it might
is.
have been that bad, but it was one of those things where like she was saying, "I'm going to choose to be happy whether or not you are or not. So just let me know if that's the choice you're making so I can get on with my life." And then that for me, it was like, "Oh yeah,
That's
I'm getting out of this." So I got out of that funk, and it was then that I started writing for my blog really heavily. I really invested myself in my own personal blog that actually got me hired here at SourceFed to write for the blog.
Hey,
So
great.
there was that. So if anyone out there, I guess, is feeling down at the end of this year, I feel great now, and it can all happen. It can all happen.
So like I
within a
said,
year.
new opportunities. Change in future are awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we begin our journey through commentary with the video Robb Stark is a gold digger.
Ooh, we're jumping in with some
He ain't
Robb
nothing.
How do you guys feel about that?
Richard
huh?
Madden's some
Didn't know.
He's
Mr.
so
Handsome Face.
handsome.
Now, Steve Zaragoza and Joe Bereta left me behind to make a friend, and I'm not going to say I was jealous, but I
was jealous.
was legitimately jealous.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear how Steve and him are actually like best friends?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Steve, we went and we interviewed or hung out with him at the Klondike.
He's like a baby Michael
premiere.
Fassbender. He's
Yeah.
so handsome.
He is here in LA, and then there was another one in New York, and Steve just happened to be in New York, and his publicist liked what we did with the video so much that she called Steve and was like, "Hey, come to the New York premiere."
Why not?
And Steve went, and apparently it was massive. And Richard Madden like made eye contact
Locked
with
eyes.
Steve across the room, jumped out of his little circle, and he was a little bit on the happy juice, I think. And just like ran to Steve and was like, "Steve, I love you." Oh, Steve said, "Oh," and he was like whispering in his ear for like 10 minutes.
It's like when you guys went to Comic-Con and
Yeah.
I had to celebrate my anniversary.
Oh,
and
you were
I
so
couldn't go.
upset about
And you guys
that.
came back and you were like, "You know what was great,
You
Elliott,
had
at
a great
Comic-Con?"
time.
And I was
You had
like,
a
"Well, you
great
know
time.
what
I
was
slept
great?
in my
The
truck.
restaurant and..."
Elliot, yeah, Joe did sleep, and then you know what Joe also did? He slept in his truck until I snuck him upstairs into a hotel room, and he slept in some girl's hotel room.
It was Trisha's.
It was Trisha's at the time.
Yeah, I went to go work, and then I found I
And then you
slept in a
found- you slept
parking
in a
garage.
parking garage.
So
There was a teacher we had that was allergic to fragrance, and
Oh,
fragrance
no.
is in everything. There were 3 girls in the class that were like the bad girls, and they decided one morning they were gonna fill her Gatorade water
Oh,
bottle
no.
that she drinks out of
They
every
killed
day
her.
with perfume and cologne and like all this shit, and also you know those little mechanical pencil refills. They threw that shit in there so like you could suck it through the straw, and they put like staples and all sorts of shit in there. Basically attempted murder, not a joke.
Did she
Was
sip
this
it?
initiation for their gang? What
Yeah.
is-
I don't. It could have been. Honestly, I don't know. It was beyond me. I was just the kind of nerdy
Did you watch
kid.
a lady die?
No. Well, I mean, everyone in the class was like told to not say a fucking word or we were gonna get beaten up or
Holy
something.
shit.
So we're all just kind of sitting there knowing this is gonna happen. The teacher comes in and the girls are like snickering, like evil little devils in there, and we're just kind of sitting back going like, we gotta warn her. We gotta like somehow tell her that this is not good. But we were gonna get, you know, when you're a kid,
Yeah.
the priorities aren't right.
The authority's a little different.
The authorities are dumb. You're very dumb. And so she takes the sip out of it, and she starts going, and she just starts writing on the board. And then
No.
she sips it one more time, and she's like, and she starts having this like
No,
insane,
no.
like
Oh my
coughing
God.
fit, and she kind of stumbles out of the classroom, and then we just hear this hacking, coughing down the hallway. Then we hear people rushing out of their classrooms, an ambulance comes, all this shit happens. The principal comes in with the reddest, most angry face in the world, and she's like, if I don't hear the truth about who did this in like 3 minutes, you come to my office right now, then this whole class is in big, big trouble. We've got the police here, we've got an ambulance here.
Is
and
this
it was
the
like,
story of when Steve Zaragoza turned
Yeah.
on his classmates?
I'm hoping.
It was those
I'm
bitches!
so.
And then I took off like the Tasmanian devil.
Oh my god.
But no, they check this out. So this was like, I don't
Hold
know.
on, real quick. This entire time that you're hearing this, are you picturing him with the beard still?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Sitting in the back, like not fitting in a child's desk.
like the child version of the Grinch.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay, so
But
what
anyway,
happened?
actually, I had big, thick, like Newman glasses with like the super magnified, whatever. So, get this shit. This was like 1993, 1991, maybe. The girls got suspended.
That's it?
I'm so fucking laughing.
Fake farts.
That's the best thing that's ever been said.
You would have gotten away with it.
I think I would have.
Yeah,
I would have been
okay,
like,
so
Steve
go.
made the best fart sound ever. After he ratted on those near murderers.
Girls got suspended.
They got suspended, not expelled.
Wow.
Suspended. Didn't do like no juvenile hall type.
Was the teacher okay?
The teacher was fine. She went to the hospital and they kind of like, I forgot what they did, but she was fine. But I mean,
Did they move the girls out of that class?
no,
when they came
no,
back?
they just got expelled or they just got suspended. They were gone for like maybe a couple of days or something. They came back. And then it was like one of those awkward things where like they went over to the teacher and they apologized to her like in front of the whole class, and then they gave her like cards or something, and like it was just this awkward, weird. I don't know if it was because of like the Catholicism thing that it's all about the like turn the other cheek, forgive and forget, and it was like a big lesson in like I forgive you or something, but like before we knew it, things were back to normal.
Because I learned you can get away with fucking murder at this
Well,
school.
I mean, it was before. I mean, they don't let kids do shit in school now. And rightfully so.
Was it before Columbine?
Yeah, it was before Columbine.
There you go.
Well before Columbine.
This episode of Comic Commentary is brought to you by the lovely people over at sf.ting.com.
And also, these Ting guys challenged me out of the blue for no frickin' reason to a backflip
Attitude.
competition because they're all young and they got these spry bodies. So watch this.
Hey Joe, heard you're pretty good at backflips. How about you try this one out? No hands.
So that guy did a backflip and with that little extra twist and whatnot. And you know what, dude? I concede because the only way that I could beat you is by cheating.
Still win. Leave me alone.
Who would make the best secret agent out of the SourceFed host?
Trisha would be a good like. What is
Oh
it? Femme
yeah.
fatale.
No, she'd be really good. Cause
And,
she's
like-
got that she's got that sweet demeanor, and you're like, oh, she can't.
She would never.
She doesn't have bad intentions.
She's probably also like the most physically fit out of all of
Yeah.
us.
Joe Bereta.
Yeah, but Joe like
Joe could do a backflip
Joe, you'd
out of some
understand.
situation.
Joe, there's like no.
Joe's the
secret to
obvious
it.
choice.
Yeah, but Joe's like, because you know, in Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise's character couldn't have a family because it would affect the family too much, and Joe is a
then that
family
knocks-
man. He can't be a.
That knocks Trisha
This
out,
is
though,
too
right?
much-
'Cause
well-
she wants one.
She does,
maybe that's
but it's
what
a cover.
interesting.
It's the cover, man. That's her cover. She wants kids, and now we all know she wants kids. But like, she's.
Why does she hate animals? I wonder if she had a bad experience with a Siberian Husky.
I just
in
want
Russia at
to.
one
I just want to
point.
make a spy movie now with her, and right before she kills her mark, she says, "No, no." And I'm like,
Oh, that's great.
What's the craziest thing you've ever heard of being stolen? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you can click this annotation for videos across all of our channels.
I'm a big idiot. I'm a moron. I'm a big dumb idiot. Look at my face. Look at my dumb face.
But I think if everyone was like their 6-year-old self, it'd just be like, I don't care. Do what you're gonna do. Like, I want this. I'm taking it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
mine.
exactly.
Mine.
That's why I love when like Joe, when Joe
Yeah.
parents and he goes, "Did you make a good choice? How do you
He's
feel
like,
about that
I'm
decision?"
Talking, me and Trisha melted this one time. Hayden got in trouble for calling somebody an old man. It was
amazing.
And he was on the phone with her and he was like, Hayden, you realize that was hurtful when you said it. And she's like, I was joking. And he's like, you realize though that you've teased this kid before and that's why you're in trouble. It's not necessarily that you called him an old man. And she was just like, I know.
He was like,
he was like, do you
intense. Like,
understand?
when you see
Yeah.
Joe through it,
Yeah.
like you see like a backflip Joe, and then when you see Joe parent, and he like literally is like eye to eye, face to face, and he's like, let's break this down. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
My mom,
Dad Joe.
Dad Joe is
it's
like, he
amazing.
scares the crap out of me.
I love it.
Teacher has taken to punishing his students using spoilers from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Cruel and unusual are words that pop into my head. And the question is, would you rather go to detention or hear spoilers from your favorite show? Charles Inman says, well, they needed to find other ways of getting them to do their work. Instead of beating them, I think this is a good alternative.
Yeah, I will say to flogging, this is a good alternative.
Physical abuse.
I guess I'll take the physical abuse because I really am invested in the series.
Just hit me! Just hit me!
Don't tell me
Like
about
writing on the
Joffrey!
board, like the name.
Hurt me! Starts whipping himself.
This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Oh, it's dark.
I know.
The best moment of my childhood, it was like an Easter morning, and my mom was sitting on the couch, and she's gonna kill me for telling this story. But she totally sneezed and farted at the same time. And my mom is like a super reserved.
Yeah.
So she was like, and it also went at the same time, and then she just went, what? What? Judging her, yeah.
Where the hell do I begin? You can't even see what I have. Oh, I know, right here. RoboCop's Ed 209 is the place that I want to, that's the way I want to show it to you. And he makes frightening sounds like this. Soda.
I'm tiny face guy.
Oh, tiny face guy, you're back.
Tiny face guy.
Hi, tiny face.
Tiny face guy seems like the nicest guy.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. I'm tiny face guy.
The best thing I've ever heard about aliens, it's terrifying, but someone told me that like I got really drunk with someone that was like working with the government.
See, that's what I hear about, like little slips of people that actually work
and they let
there.
it out, and then you never hear from them again because they get incinerated. But
Right.
they said that there are 13 different types of aliens, and some of them are friendly, but 9 of them, and this is a quote, want our bones. How great is that?
Oh my God!
Right?
Wait,
They
you said
want
you're
your
not really
bones.
I wasn't drunk. No, this was someone that was
Maybe this person was
relaying
really
to me.
wasted and just making stuff up.
Either way, if you're making up that someone wants our bones, write a movie.
Craigslist murderer. A girl has admitted to over 22 murders, the latest of which was lured by a Craigslist ad. The question
She's a female
is-
Dexter.
Yeah, she's a female Dexter, but the question is, do you actually believe her? And do you think she's committed maybe over like 100? Also, what do you think is Craigslist's responsibility in all this? Have you guys ever heard
I've been through it.
the adage? I believe it's in the Bible. It's never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, because back then they thought that our little hands had brains.
Adorable.
It was adorable, or our hands had little brains, as it were. Yeah, if like one hand is like strangling somebody, and the other hand is posting a Craigslist ad, keep it to yourself.
You okay?
She could have. Hopefully, it was less than 100 people. Though.
Hold on, her post is in misconnections. It just says, "Do you want to die?"
Looking for throat.
You had the blood pumping vein in your neck. I had the thirst for your life. We were in the Trader Joe's meat section.
Oh man,
Is this you?
people have died.
The thing is, like, what makes it a cock block? So here, for example, one time I found a girl, and I brought her with me to my buddy's hotel, because he was chilling there. A lot of people were chilling there. So I brought her there. And he started, like, talking to her. They were chatting each other up and stuff like that, you know? And, like, I didn't care. I was doing my thing. And I was like, all right, time to go. And I saw her, and I was like, let's do it. And she was like, sure. And she got up and she left. And then he texted me, like, dude, you cock block. And I was like, no, I brought her with me, and you chose to entertain her for however much time. That was cool. I got to hang out and just have some drinks, whatever. But like when it was time to go, like I was taking her with me. It wasn't like I was leaving her here, and I already put the prior work in. I'm not gonna leave. And he was like, that's a cock block. And I was like, that's not a cock block. I brought it, and like, you know, if I gave it to you, that would be a gift to you. It's not like I'm cock blocking you by just taking it back.
What's
you know?
this it stuff? It sounds like
It's
you have
weird,
an item
eh?
that you brought in.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
For the viewers, let's act like he's saying it is the act and not the human being.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about the sex of it.
Right.
Anyways, I didn't even fuck her at the end of the day. Anyways.
Did you feel bad? Is that why?
No, there was never a point where it was like it wasn't like supposed to be a fucking or anything. It was just she was coming with me, and I took her. And then like when I left, I didn't think like, oh, I'm taking her out of his grasp.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I thought. I just did it. But he messaged me like, oh, cock block.
That's bullshit.
And I was like, cock block? Like you don't even know this person.
Do you imagine that he saw it in the sense of someone brought pizza over, but then when they left, they took the pizza with them?
Dude, if that was the case, I'm the asshole. Because who would do that?
Well,
who brings,
okay.
You know what I mean? But to compare a
Dude, what if
human
it's
being
your
to a
homemade
pizza box.
What if it's your homemade pizza that you made and slaved over? It's your
Well, you didn't
creation.
make it.
What if you're the chef of the pizza?
Why are we
Well, it
all
wasn't a
saying it
pizza.
now?
It
You're
wasn't a
fucking with
pizza.
my life.
Hold on a second, though. What
It
I
wasn't
want
a pizza.
was- Wait, but because you were responsible for this person.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
weren't
bring
just
her
gonna
back.
leave her
No,
there.
I was gonna bring her back.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did he expect for you to leave her there and be like, oh well, let's see what happens. Maybe she'll get back okay.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe she left with me and she was like, damn, I like, and she was just being nice. Maybe she wanted to stay there.
Well, she
you know?
should have said so, right?
She didn't though.
Can I tell you guys about a major cock
I think
block?
she wanted to hop up on the idea, but she didn't even do that either. Not that I tried to. It was just kind of like a cool thing. We were hanging out, but like, anyways, I was called a cock block, and it was like a debate. I was like, no, this is like, it was like next morning, like I'm reading my text messages out to the crowd of like my buddies, like, am I a cock block here? And it was just kind of like up in the air. But
oh, it was up in the air?
Yeah, it was up in the air.
From your pals?
Yeah.
There was a poll.
What is up in the air about
because
that?
at the end of the day, now it's like hindsight is 50-50. It's like, well, you didn't fuck her. Why didn't you let him fuck her? You know?
Did you have any idea?
I don't even
that
think
he
she was
wanted-
out there trying to fuck. I think she was just trying to hang out, you know? So it was just like the whole thing is that everyone was insinuating that there should have been a fucking.
Wait, but so hold on a second. But you had no idea there was a possible fucking with him.
Why are you picking up the word?
Maybe not.
Because we're calling it. That's what it is. It's a fucking at this point.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Like, I just saw him chatting to her, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, let's go. I'm going. I'm gonna give her a lift. You know, he might not give her a lift. Who knows what? You know.
They need to start CGI the guy's face out of pornos too. Nothing more annoying than wanking.
Oh, God,
A
that's
quick,
the truth.
uncalled for cut to a close up of the guy's own face.
That is the truth. It's always the creepiest guy too.
As
with, like,
blue as the comment is,
a
let's-
stupid, disgusting, like weird thing, and
You
then like
think that's-
so many earrings.
No,
and,
that's not the weird part. Imagine watching that, or instead watching just a no face going at it on a woman. Just a blank slate. CGI out the face.
Oh, like just a
Just
like a
a no
mannequin no face.
What if even? That's
Yeah, okay, good. I love it. Great stuff. I'm super into this.
Can't tell if you like it, Jonathan.
Oh, baby.
Is that tears at the end? Please. Please.
I don't think you understand, Geneva. I had to go and do a no face today.
How?
This is when I worked at in Thousand Oaks, or worked more or less in Thousand Oaks and lived in Oxnard. So I was like booking it. I was like, let's do this. And I see the sirens, I see the lights in my mirror, and I'm like, oh man, this is it. I'm fucked. And so what ends up happening is I pull over, but as I'm pulling over, I'm like, okay, how do I get out of this? What's my excuse here? And so I was like, okay. Would you rather be greasy, like you put Vaseline all over, or sticky, like you ate cotton candy all day?
Greasy.
Greasy.
I guess, yeah, because sticky sucks.
Sticky sucks.
Sticky's the worst.
Sticky is the
Plus, you get like
worst.
bees all over you. F***ing bees. I'm sorry. I'm
I love
curse so much. That's it.
Plus you get bees all over you.